Alright. So there's some more recent news coming up. I will be I'm going to be covering the Rams pursuing Rodgers, and I'm actually going to be doing this thing. I am going to compare the top two players at each position in the NFL. So, like, top two players at running back, top two players at defensive back. You know, it's that's just what I'm going to do. So there's a lot of Alright, so here we go. Recent news. Alright. So Stafford told the Lions not to trade him to the Pats. It's not about Patricia. I never heard that they hated each other, and he's not even a coordinator there anymore. And I also see, I didn't think of this earlier, but you don't want to replace Brady. You don't want to live up to that hype. I mean, Cam Newton is a different player. We knew he wasn't going to live up to Brady because he's different. He's a different kind of player. And he wasn't going to be compared to Brady anyway. And the Pats are in rebuild mode more so than people think. They need a lot of pieces. A quarterback, an edge rusher, some wideouts. And obviously they have some opt-outs that they got coming back. We'll see how they do. But, I think they'll do good next year. But I'm not going to be too sure. Because this year was very not promising. Alright. So, LeBron says Brady is proving that age is just a number. I mean, as well as LeBron and Brady are doing, as well as they're stretching time, they're also not human. So you can't compare humans to Brady and LeBron. I mean, they are... basically what LeBron is saying here is, like, people like me should stop trying to decide when people's careers are over. I'm not ever gonna tell Brady or LeBron that their career is over. I mean, I don't have that. I don't have that kind of ego. I can't tell a player that good that their career is over. I tried telling Brady his career is over before I did this, and I failed miserably. I kept saying Montana's better. I said it after, because when Brady won his 5th ring against the Falcons, it was Brady's the GOAT. I said, no, it's Montana. Montana. Then he beats the Rams. After I told him he wasn't going to beat the Rams. And I'm a LeBron fan, so I never tell LeBron he can't do anything. But, I'm never going to tell them I can't do anything. And I never really liked the concept of saying when, you don't have a saying when someone's career's over as an analyst. I never liked that concept anyway. Anyway, Rams pursued trading for Rodgers. As the Packers, I would never consider this. Never. I don't know how you would even consider this. And as a Packers fan, the fact that they didn't even go for it at all makes you feel a lot better about the... Because I do think the media overreacted to this press conference. Of course, he threw a pity party after the most devastating loss of his life, 5 minutes after, by the way. I mean, I would have been pretty depressed there, too. I mean, I was just favored to go to the Super Bowl. Everything was going well. If I were Rodgers, I would have been worried to play the Saints a bit. I know they beat them earlier in the year, but I would be a little worried to play the Saints. I mean, I would be worried to play Breeze or Brady, but... I mean, people were saying Green Bay should win the Super Bowl. Or just make the Super Bowl and lose to the Chiefs. I mean, and we were rolling. We were rolling. We were on fire. When was our last loss? We hadn't lost since the Vikings game. We were rolling. Or, from Aaron Rodgers' perspective, you were rolling. You're the MVP. You're going. You're going. You just beat the best defense in the league. 30-plus points against the best defense in the league. You're rolling. Alright, we look like we're going to lose. Oh, we storm back. Oh, pass interference. And now we're done. Depressing. So, I mean, but it makes you feel a lot better that Green Bay is not buying into this bullcrap about Aaron Rodgers wants to leave. So, I'm glad that they didn't consider that. Goff is not terrible. Goff isn't a terrible quarterback. But as good as Adams is, he'd have a significant downgrade from Rodgers. And LaFleur also would have a significant downgrade as good as he is. Alright, so here is I always save the best for last. I always save the best thing for last, most interesting. I'm comparing the top 2 players at each position. So, like, two best receivers, 2 best defensive ends, 2 best linebackers. So here we go. Let's start off, Brady versus Montana / Manning. No debate, Brady's the best quarterback ever. Alright, Jim Brown versus Barry Sanders / Peyton Manning, or Walter Payton. Sanders is more talented and may have been more recognized, but I'm going to go with Jim Brown. He won 3 MVPs. He was high on the rushing leader list despite only playing 9 years. He was first team All-Pro in all but 1 year. He had more Pro Bowls, and he led the league in rushing more. All right, Jerry Rice versus Randy Moss. The gap between Rice and Moss is bigger than most people like to believe. Rice had more Pro Bowls, more All-Pro teams. He led the league in receiving more. He won Offensive Player of the Year twice. He has the record for most touchdowns, yards, and receptions. And also, he has that record in the playoffs. Yards, touchdowns, receptions in the playoffs and regular season. Rice is the best ever. Tony Gonzalez first. I'm going to say John Mackey. I'm going old school here. John Mackey. Gonzalez is better. More All-Pros, more Pro Bowls, more yards, more touchdowns. Reggie White versus Bruce Smith and Deacon Jones. Reggie White, more All-Pros, more Pro Bowls, same amount of Defensive Player of the Years, and he won a Super Bowl MVP. Reggie White is the best defensive end ever, in my opinion. No bias. I'm dead serious. No bias there. I think he's the best ever. Alright, best linebacker ever. Lawrence Taylor versus Ray Lewis. Lawrence Taylor won an MVP. He won four Defensive Player of the Years and had more All-Pro teams than Ray Lewis. I'm giving that to Lawrence Taylor. Best safety ever. I'm going to say this is between Ronnie Lott and Ed Reed. Lott had more All-Pros, more Pro Bowls. I'm giving this to Ronnie Lott by a nose. He was a hard-hitting safety. More Pro Bowls, more All-Pros. The only edge Ed Reed really has on... the only edge Reed really has on Lott is that he won Defensive Player of the Year. Alright, now this podcast is actually winding down. This is about 40 minutes. Okay, I'll take a 40-minute podcast all day. So I'd say that I'm gonna give the debate to Deion Sanders versus Rod Woodson and Mel Blount. Those are the 3 best ever in my opinion. Rod Woodson had more Pro Bowls than Sanders and Blount, more picks than both of them, and the same amount of All-Pros. And Sanders, Woodson, and Blount all had 1 Defensive Player of the Year award. But Woodson, more Pro Bowls, more picks. I'm giving this one to Rod Woodson. So just to review, best quarterback, Brady. Best running back, Jim Brown. Best wideout, well, if you're really creating a team here, it's Moss and Rice, but Rice is the best receiver ever. Tight ends, Tony Gonzalez. Defensive end, Reggie White. Honestly, if you want to build a dream defensive line, White, Jones, Smith. Best linebacker ever, Lawrence Taylor. Really, again, want to build a dream linebacker core, Ray Lewis, Jack Lambert, Lawrence Taylor, Mike Singletary. And then best safeties, again, want the dream team, Lott and Reed, but Lott is the best ever. Corner, you can go all three of those people, but Woodson is the best ever. Alright, so Matt Stafford trade talk. I covered some of the Super Bowl, which is in 6 days. I'm excited for that. Alright, good stuff today. Daily Dose of Dylan. Goodbye. Have a great day. Goodbye.